We back. We back. We are back.
Come
Welcome
on.
to another episode of
Come
Vibes
on.
and Convo. Hey, come on in. Come on in.
Boom, boom, boom.
What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Vibes and Convo, where we champion everything and all things that are R and B. Well, y'all
Mhm.
host, my brother On Key, right there next to me. Mr. On Key, never off. And I'm your friendly neighborhood sequel 2297. Hey, and this week, hey, we're gonna travel down memory lane for y'all.
Come on.
Definitely gonna travel down memory lane.
Yeah, we is.
Tell them what we got, Key.
Man. Now, because y'all know what week it is. Y'all know what week it is.
What week is
It's
it?
a movie soundtrack week. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And,
Yes, it
and
is.
we just been you know what I'm saying, reviewing a lot of these classic music soundtracks. And today does not fall short of that.
That part.
You know what I mean? How to be a player. Movie soundtrack, man.
Some of you know, some of
Come
you
on.
don't.
Come on. We're going to get into it. We about to get into it.
All the way
You know what I'm
into it.
saying? Um, but before we do that, how was your week, brother? Sequel 2297.
My week has been really good. Well, since it finally stopped raining,
Okay.
mind you, we got some better weather. It's been heating up. It hasn't been as cold as it's been, but with that, it's been a lot of rain, a lot of
Okay.
humidity and rain. And the last of it really was yesterday. So today was kind of like the introduction to summer, so to speak. It was really, really nice.
Mm.
Really, really nice. Not too hot, not too warm. Nice cool breeze. It was beautiful. Just beautiful. So
Okay.
hopefully this weather continues. Hopefully it
Come on.
continues. Um, other than that, man, it's been a pretty routine week for myself or whatever. You know, my oldest getting ready for this track meet he had Saturday,
Okay.
and my youngest they trying to hustle me out of food and toys every day. So, so pretty much a routine week. Either other than that, I'm pretty blessed. Pretty blessed,
Come
man.
on.
So,
Let's
yes,
talk
sir.
about it.
Yep. So that's my week, brother. What about
Um,
yourself, Mr. Keon, Mr. On Key?
ooh. Y'all know me. Y'all
whole lot,
know me.
yep, whole lot of wolf tickets.
Man. How did you know? Oh, oh man. You know, we this week. Let's see. This week. Let's see.
Yep, nothing.
Well, my Knicks said to Boston.
Oh
You know what I'm
man.
saying? JB, my man, Jalen Brunson.
Let's
It's
hope
just
y'all
too
do it again.
much, you know?
Let's hope y'all do it again.
Man, I need to start wearing my Knicks hat when I get on here, man.
Uh,
Like, you know, y'all know what time it is. Y'all know. We do this every year, y'all know. But nah, but that was dope to see that. It was dope to see that, you know. Good fight. They fighting right now, you know.
mhm,
I'm not
mhm.
I'm not watching the score, if anyone wants to know. I'm not watching it. Do not update me. All right.
And
All
just
right,
because you
cool.
said
We
it,
got
watch.
that understanding. Cool. We got that understanding. We
Just
can
because you
move.
said it, watch. No,
You know?
flooding our timeline.
Man. But other than that, let's see. Uh oh, we got a couple of things going on here at Vibes and Combo. You know what I mean?
That
We got a
part.
couple of things coming up. You know what I'm saying? Stay tuned is what I'm just gonna say. Stay tuned every week is what I'm gonna say. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Please hit the notification bell to subscribe to all videos, shorts, posts, etc., etc. Right? Those for my
Right.
folks on YouTube, Twitch. My folks on Twitch, click that follow button as well. You know what I'm saying? Subscribe to us so you can get to all the lives, so you know what's going on, because we got some big things happening this month.
Yes, we
Big
do.
things. All right.
Bluetooth disconnected.
But that's pretty much my week.
Yes, sir.
A little bit more exciting than the week before last, a little bit more exciting. You know what I mean? last the week before last, I had nothing to say.
Yeah.
Well, I was complaining about the weather. I was.
I'm surprised you remembered that.
Yeah, man.
All
But
right.
yeah, man, the week, that's crazy. So check it out. Before we move forward, I definitely want to pivot, and I'm gonna pass it over to Sequel 2297, and he has something for you guys pertaining to the Vibes and Convo Spotify playlist. Sequel 2297. Let them know what's going on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Have some updates for you guys on the Vibes and Combo playlist on Spotify. New updates. First off, I got Jane Hancock, her new single "Stingy." If you don't know, you must be living on the rock, because it's definitely getting heavy radio play right now. Jane Hancock is one of those artists who you've been hearing us talk about for the longest on Vibes and Convo, not just pertaining to this playlist, but just in general. We even got a performance breakdown of her on one of our episodes. So, yeah, this is the latest and greatest from us. Stingy is definitely gonna be one for the summer for sure. It's definitely gonna go hard for the summer watch. Promise you. Next up, we got Kevin Ross back for more. Hey, if you're not on Kevin Ross's new release, man, something wrong with you. Something wrong with you. Definitely, man. Kevin Ross is back outside, back in these R&B streets, holding it up high once again. After him, I got the one of the pillars, and R&B still at it, man. Eric Benet. We still waiting on this duet album, man. What's going on? We're still waiting on it. This latest single he's got with Shantae Moore, "So Distracted," bruh. Definitely getting heavy radio play right now, man. If y'all not privy, man, get up on it. Eric Benet and Shantae Moore, "So Distracted." Them two voices, forget about it. Forget about it. Also, in addition to that, I have Miss Jessica Julia, Jahan Hunter Jr., and Kevin Ross. They got a song together called Mink Coat Remix. When I tell you it's a vibe on some dance stuff, man, you're going to love it. You're definitely going to love it. Thank Michael Jackson meets Pharrell. Think that, and then listen to the song. All right. After that, I got a new artist that's emerging called King Sis. If you guys are familiar with King Sis, go look her up. She's a sleeper for sure. Definitely a sleeper. She got a track called "I Forgot." Definitely goes in. After that, I got Mr. Johnny Venus, Mr. So Beautiful himself, man. Johnny Venus featuring Black, bruh. This is another one that's up and coming that you're starting to hear and see everywhere right now. If it's not on your local radio station, trust me, it's coming. It's bubbling like that. Johnny Venus, So Beautiful. And last but not least, on the Vibes of Convo playlist, I've got Mac King with All Talk. Once again, another one. Hey, as we tell you every time about this Vibes of Convo playlist, we're doing the work for you.
We really are.
We got nothing but that for you. Whether it's contemporary, old school, classic, fusion, doesn't matter. If it's R&B, it's on here.
That's it. On my Spotify users, you see it right there?
There you go.
Vibes and Combo playlist.
Yeah.
Feel free to follow that.
Oh, and don't worry, when the holidays roll back around, we'll be on that Vibes and Convo Christmas playlist. Don't worry about
it. Come on.
Which is still up there. Too. Which is still up there on Spotify.
Yep. Come on.
Yep. And that's what I got, man, for the updates on the Vibes and Convo playlist this week, bro.
Let's go.
Yes.
Man. All right. For those who are new here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even for those that's been here. Those who've been here, y'all know where we about to go now.
Like we always do about this time.
For the folks that's new, there is 3 steps we need you to follow here at Vibes and Combo, right? We like to call it setting the mood. Yeah. We about to set the mood right now
Yes.
before we get into this R&B nerd talk today. So, with the 3 steps, step number 1 is find your place of comfort. That could be at home, that could be in your bed, that could be in your couch, that can be on your patio, that can be on your porch, that can be in your, did I say your car? It can be in your car. It can be on the rooftop. You know what I'm saying? For the luxury folks, right? It could be in your garage. It could be in your den. Man, it could be so many places. We can't forget the bean bag. Come on. Y'all see the bean bag.
Bean
You know
bags
what I'm
kind of
saying?
become a staple over here at Vibes and Convo. If you
You
know,
know,
you know.
come on. For my old school folks, it could be the rocking chair. Mm-hmm. You know, my folks, new school folks, you know, y'all mess with that game chair heavy. Y'all use that game chair for everything. Everything. But yeah. So step number 1 is find your place of comfort. Step number 2 is we need you to get a set of headphones, right? Yeah, we know the phone works fine. You know, the TV volume works fine. You can hear us, right? But it's so much dialogue. We talk, we talk in depth. We talk about numbers. We talk about like the yearly dates. It's so many different things that we discuss that we want you to hear it in detail. So the best form of audio is headphones. That's step number 2. Step number 3.
Getting better, getting better.
Getting it right. I just gotta get my head come in the way I do my hair. Like I ain't like that.
You look retarded.
but, but step number 3 is we want you to get your favorite beverage and we want you to put it right next to you, such like this. Right?
He's always drinking water. I got pink lemonade.
Got the water on deck. Got the water on deck, got the water on deck. So
Stay
those are the 3
hydrated, people,
steps we need you to follow.
for sure.
Now,
Uh-huh.
ladies and gentlemen. All right. Let me make sure I got this. Okay. Yeah. There we go.
The moment we've all been waiting for.
Come on. This is it. I'm trying to make sure my stuff is positioned right on here. Okay. Yep. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, how to be a player. Want to get them the soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to make this this picture right for y'all, but it's not really working for me. You see? You're watching me in action. You see that? All right. That's as much success as we're getting at the moment.
That's all right.
But how to be a player?
Yeah.
We're gonna get into the songs of that too.
Definitely.
All right, I'm gonna do. You know what I'm gonna do for y'all, man? We're just gonna go straight to the soundtrack. We're gonna go straight to the track listing for y'all while we get that adjusted.
While we get that adjusted,
Mm-hmm.
Key, like we always ask about these soundtracks, what do you remember most about this sound? Better yet, not even the soundtrack. What do you remember? How well do you remember the movie? Did you ever see the movie?
Yes.
Where were you when you saw it?
You know what? I was over at my uncle's house. I remember seeing it. Uncle's house. I think we rented it though. I don't remember seeing it in the theaters.
Yeah.
I think we rented it from either Hollywood Video or Blockbuster at the time?
Blockbuster.
I want to say it was Blockbuster because I know my uncle used to mess with Blockbuster pretty tough.
Hell yeah.
So I want to say it was Blockbuster.
Yeah. How many of y'all
Uh,
remember Blockbuster? Holler at me in the
that's when you had
comments.
to. That's when you had to go rent videos. You know,
Hell yeah.
you couldn't just
VHS
look them
is
up on your TV and just watch whatever you want. Nah, nope, nope,
VHS
nope.
is at first. VHS
Come
is
on.
first before the DVDs.
Yep. What did he say? He said,
Mm-hmm.
"Say I bought this one when it came out. Classic movie. It's a line from the movie we still say to this day."
Oh
Ooh,
yeah.
what line?
What's the
You talking about
line?
how to be a player?
Yep.
What's the line?
What's the line?
Come on. He's
Because
saying it, so now we gotta,
I know it's a bunch of them.
come on.
Bunch of them.
Yeah,
A lot of
man.
quotables in this movie.
A lot of quotables.
Yep.
So let me continue to bring that track listing up. And then
No,
we'll
go ahead. Go
dive
ahead. Go
into
ahead.
it.
Yeah, I remember renting the movie too. I didn't get a chance to go to the theaters and see it. During the time I was still I was doing way too much at this particular time and space. Didn't have to go to the movies, to be honest with you.
Mm,
But I definitely remember the movie. I remember the soundtrack more than anything. But we used to go hard on the soundtrack, for sure.
here we go.
Mhm. How to be a player.
And it's crazy because the
Bootleg version of this movie, which is
yeah, remember that?
yeah, which really had Tupac and Biggie music in it. Yes, it sure did. I
Yeah,
guess
it
they didn't
did.
have the rights to the music. Sure didn't. Sure didn't. You right on there with that one, Cornbread. Appreciate you, man. Shout out. Shout out to homie Cornbread back in Beaumont, Texas, man. Cornbread TV. Y'all go check him out, man. He has a podcast also.
Man.
Be sure y'all check him out right here. Yes, sir.
What else, man? Shout out to the chat, man.
Shout out to the chat for
Y'all
being
ain't y'all
active.
ain't here tonight. Y'all in here. Come on.
Hell yeah.
Um,
Keep sharing. Keep liking and sharing.
what else? Another thing I can remember is this is like this was 1997, right? So like
Uh-huh.
this is right before we still in the golden age of like the R&B, By this time we started getting a lot of the groups,
Mm-hmm.
the I call it like the that second legacy of groups, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Behind
Yeah.
the Boyz II Men's and Jodeci's and Silk,
Yeah.
we started to get, Drew Hill, Next,
Player.
Player,
Yep.
J.E. was jumping on the scene.
Yep.
So but now, fast forward in 2025, going back to it, I felt like I would have saw more of them on this soundtrack, right? I don't know why I thought, all of them will be on here, but
Mm-hmm.
this is a soundtrack hosted by Def Jam,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But so this is right before. Is this right before the Island Def Jam
Yes.
merge? Okay,
Yes.
so then that clears up. That clears up my
mm-hmm.
my thoughts then, because
Mm-hmm.
this is before they made that step to the R&B.
Yeah, I know. It was technically the same year.
Mm.
You
Okay.
know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because if I remember correctly, because this was my senior year, high school senior year. If I remember correctly, this soundtrack came out more towards the beginning of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And you started seeing more stuff start to come out on Island Def Jam going towards the end of the year. So I think somewhere in that years at some point in time is when that merger happened.
Cornbread TV said the R&B era in 97, Casey and JoJo, Jagged Edge, Drew Hill, As Yet. Oh yeah.
Yep,
Something for the people.
Yeah. We got that's a whole other episode we gotta do.
Oh man.
Yep.
That brought me back right there.
Shout out Cornbread. Good looking on that one, man. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a bunch of singers right there too.
Yeah.
Golly.
Uh-huh.
Golly. Um, but let's pick at some of this work on here.
Definitely.
um the intro that they have blacked out on Spotify because of rights and
Probably licensing.
licensing and all that
Mm-hmm.
was the intro from the How to Be a Player soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
Who is that on there?
That's Mr. Max Julian.
Julian? Max Julian.
Yes, yes. Famously known as an American actor, sculptor, and clothes designer. Best known for his role as Goldie in The Mac.
Mm.
Yes, that's pretty much who he is. So
Mm.
he starts off giving one of his famous poems
Mm-hmm.
from that Goldie persona that he was famous for, or whatever. So it's kind of like speaking in that vein, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he starts off with a poem,
Mm-hmm.
basically on how to be a player. So just giving up game from the get go, just setting the tone for the soundtrack in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
He said it. Yep. He
yep,
said
Max
what you
Julian.
said. Yep.
Yep, the Mac. Yep, yeah, we were raised on the Mac, bro. We pretty well versed in that.
Snap.
Definitely.
Track number 2.
All right.
Standout single
Yes,
from this
big
soundtrack.
big bad mama.
Uh-huh.
Foxy Brown featuring Drew Hill. Want to start with
Fire.
this one?
Fire.
All right. Now, first off, this was a remake of Carlton's Big Bad Mama Jamma,
Mm-hmm.
which is which this remake was also produced by the Immortal Trackmasters. The song was also a hit that peaked at 53 on Billboard's 100. As we all know, Drew Hill walked all over this bad boy.
Mm.
And then Foxy, this was like on the Foxy, like this is superstar Foxy in her prime Foxy.
Right.
Definitely. So this was definitely a big song, not just for her career, but for the soundtrack as well. Matter of fact, this song I could say is probably single-handedly sold the movie because it
Right.
was really, really huge at the time.
Yeah, it was.
Definitely one of the most memorable songs on the soundtrack. The song also appears on Foxy's debut album, Il Nana.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
because
what more do we need to say?
she had this joint. She had the joint with Blackstreet.
Yeah.
Like we go back, it's like,
Mhm.
ooh, okay. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, Foxy wasn't playing, man. When she came, yeah.
Definitely not.
And she had all the right people behind her too, early on. Early on. With my boy Cornbread said Jeff Penn used to rap songs to sell the soundtrack despite having some noteworthy R&B songs. That's
Right.
true statement.
They did, you know, and that's kind of like what I was talking about at the beginning. Like, you know, just fast forward sometimes you go back to a soundtrack, you're like, wait a minute, I thought that. And then, you know, but we cleared it up because, you know, this is right at that point where they made that merge with like having Island Def Jam with all the R&B acts and then having the hip hop acts with Def Jam because Def Jam just had so many artists
Yes, they
at the
did.
time. It's kind of crazy.
They were top heavy.
Yeah.
Really top heavy.
You know?
All right.
Big Bad Mama, man. Like Drew Hill, this was a big song for Drew Hill too
Yes, it was.
at the time. You know, they still performing in they set to this day.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
Shout out Woody.
Come on. Big bruh.
My name is Woody. Whoa.
Come on.
And it's still jam too. If it come on, ain't nobody sitting still.
Right. Track number 3, Hard to Get. Revisited.
Yes.
So if it's revisited, that means it was on one of their albums.
Yes. I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
Correct me if I'm wrong, people, or whatever. I'm assuming it was on one of Rick James' later albums. To be honest with you, because
that's what I'm thinking.
Because Richie Rich is more of a feature.
Yeah.
On this song, he's not holding any leads or anything of that nature. Like it's mostly all Rick James. So that's just my assumption.
Right.
If I'm wrong, feel free to correct me, y'all. But in my opinion, it was just a good party song for the older heads. You know, gotta give something for the older crowd sometimes. It was full of funk and dance vibes. But
Mhm.
still, in classic Rick James form, still something for the players.
Come on.
R.I.P. Rick James. That's right, man.
Yeah,
R.I.P. Rick
man.
James.
Yeah, man.
There'll never be another one.
Nothing like it.
Uh-uh. Uh-uh.
So, track number 5,
Mhm.
Young Casanovas,
Yep.
Junior Mafia, Mace, and Cam.
Uh-huh.
Why was Cam on this? I didn't understand that.
Well, you gotta remember, man, Cam Mace, Children of the Corn.
Oh, it's that Cam. Okay.
Early Brigade, yeah,
You,
Cameron.
you know what? I'm thinking, okay.
Yeah.
Because
No,
it's
it's Cameron.
KAM.
Yeah, they misspelled it. Spotify do that sometimes.
Come on, Spotify. You got to get it right because there's another Cam from the
That's
West
West Coast.
Coast.
West
Yeah,
Coast Cam.
yeah. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
we already know West Coast Cam,
Come
doggone
on.
Ice Cube family.
Come on.
Come on,
That's
man.
that's
West Coast
big. That's
Cam.
big. You know what I
It is.
mean?
It is. But this is also not to take anything from or whatever, but this is also one of the few times early on
Mm,
that you actually heard all these entities on one single song.
yes.
To be honest with you, I mean, of course, they will go along and do work with each other, but not all three
Right.
at the same time. It's a hip hop spin on the classic Levert song "Casanova." Early
Hmm.
Cameron, Mace, and Junior Mafia full display. Definitely fits the movie too, though. Young Casanova.
Come on.
Yep.
Look, see, and it's like I said, doing that 2025, and then you go back, you're like, oh wait,
hmm
there is a big backstory to all of this,
and
big
we
backstory.
and we're not talking food when he say big back. I mean backstory, people.
Right. Exactly.
Yep.
Brother Kirk Quinn said, this brings me back. Man, yeah, it do.
hmm
Said early Mason Cam with Junior Mafia. Right.
Right.
See? And like
Hey, and y'all see? Hey, hold on,
crazy.
hold on. Before we go any further, y'all see the number? Call in.
Yeah, feel free to
We ain't
call
fat.
in.
You don't have to keep typing words or whatever. Y'all want to chime in? Feel free to call in, man. That's why
Feel
we
free
got
to
the phone
call
up
in.
there for 619-436-4724. Feel free.
Mhm.
Feel free.
Let's do it.
Yes, sir.
Let's do it. Um,
Where we at now?
yeah, we on track number 6.
Okay.
Down with us.
Red
Down
Man,
with us, Redman.
Funk Doctor.
Come on.
Hey, what y'all know about Red Man? Come on, man. New Jersey's finest, man.
Look,
Come
look, and
on.
you gotta say pre-99
Yeah.
Redman too, because it's two different. It's two different Redmans. Same
Yep.
person, but two different
hmm
Redmans.
Completely.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
You know, because later on you got the Funk Doc. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And here was just Redman, like the Dirty Water days, like the early,
Uh,
early Redman. You know what I mean?
be honest with you. Complete transparency. Redman, like early on when CDs first started getting ushered in, Redman was one of the first CDs I bought with my
Mm.
own money, like physical CDs. His first album. And I've been a fan of Redman ever since. Ever
Mm.
since. But not to jump
Under the Eric Sermon.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. But not to jump off subject though. It's definitely a hip hop classic. It's actually a remake or you could say a revamp of Boogie Down Productions. I'm still number
Yes.
one. It was
Yes.
also later redone by Scarface, which is a down south classic, also, man.
Hmm.
Uh, it's just hip hop at its rawest form. That's all this song is.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
Redman was getting busy too.
And
Redman was getting busy.
when does he not get busy? I would encourage y'all to check
Gritty.
out his new stuff right now. Man, this ain't lost a muscle. Still a
Come on.
beast.
Track number 7. The Usual Suspects: Mike Geronimo, Fatal Hussein, Cormega, Ja, DMX.
Yeah. Now,
Mm.
you got to be a real hip hop head to even remember who Mike Geronimo is.
Come on.
But if you know, you know, Mike was one of those ones.
Mhm.
Definitely one of those ones, especially if he's in the doggone, if it's on the same song with DMX, Ja Rule, Gaddafi, and the Locks.
Yep, he's right there.
Yeah, some hip hop stuff, man. That's some deep. This track though is a treasure. This is one of the earlier times you heard the Locks, Ja Rule, and DMX all in the same song together. Of course, they were going to do way more, but this is also one of the last tracks from Mike Geronimo in his prime. Can't really recall anything else that he released after this, to be honest with you. But full transparency, it's just a hardcore symphony type song. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's spitting on it. Definitely fire. Definitely fire. Mike Geronimo is definitely a pillar in the whole Murder Inc. family. He's early Irv Gotti. Early Irv Gotti. One of Irv Gotti's earlier, if not his first artist, to be honest with you. But yeah. That's full transparency on who Mike Geronimo is. And Usual Suspects is just one of them songs they just going hard on, man. Definitely. And that's where we are right now on the track listing. How to be a player. I'm gonna hang on. We might hit somebody call in. I think we might have a call. Let's see if Key come back and says. Usually when he gets off of here like this, it's usually because we got a call. Probably trying to cue him in. So what do y'all think about the How to Be a Player soundtrack? Do y'all remember it all?
We got a caller on the line.
I figured.
State your name, caller.
State your name, gangster.
I'm Cornbread Capone. I'm from Beaumont. You know what I'm saying? Came up with you. You know what I'm saying?
100. What's good at Cornbread? What's good with your family?
Just chilling, man.
I already know. So speak your piece, man, on this soundtrack, bro. Come on. I know you knowledgeable.
Well, I bought it when it came out. I wasn't. I don't think. I can't remember. I don't think the movie came to Beaumont to the theaters because back then, certain movies would come, certain movies wouldn't.
Right.
Being that the nature of the movie had adult-like themes.
Mm-hmm.
Which in
hindsight wasn't even
probably why the movie didn't come to Beaumont at the time.
Yeah, which in hindsight wasn't even that crazy.
Which is crazy, but I like I say, I had the bootleg version, so I saw the bootleg version actually before I was able to rent it at like Blockbuster.
Yeah.
But I bought the soundtrack, and that's how I'm, know so much about the soundtrack because I bought it and listened to it, and the ones that I would jam was like the Master P song because at that time Master P was on fire.
Yeah,
in '97.
Yep.
And but all the rest of it was good too. You know what I'm saying? Like how y'all going track to track through it.
Mm-hmm.
It make you remember like, damn, Rick James is on that soundtrack. The same soundtrack that have Mike Geronimo, Fatal Hussein, Ja Rule, and DMX on the same record.
Crazy.
Yeah,
I know, right?
That's amazing to me. And Def Jam at that time, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, the island situation, the merging of the labels, the merging of the artists, because you could tell that was evident through the soundtracks by who they had on the soundtracks. Just about damn near every predominant part of the soundtrack, everybody was signed to the label at the time. Like the Rick James and Richie Rich. Richie Rich was on their label at the time.
Right.
Sure was.
Right.
Sure was.
So Foxy Brown, we all know she was Def Jam.
Mm-hmm.
I think Drew Hill were about to make that move to Def Jam.
Right. Right.
And they were just working, having a little working relationship at the time. And they used the Foxy single to sell it.
Definitely.
He was already hot
Definitely.
at the time, and I think they had. No, I was gonna say Jay-Z, but that was another soundtrack, and it wasn't. I don't think that was a Def Jam soundtrack.
No, I know which one you're talking about too, but no, you're right.
Yeah, I think I know which one you're talking about too.
I think it's Sprung, if I'm not mistaken.
There you go. Cornbread, you own it tonight, brother. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah. He hit, I was about to say, he hit the balls out.
You know what I'm saying? I just, going down memory lane, you know what I'm saying, with y'all, as y'all, look back, because this was, all these years, when you talk about the 90s, that's why the 90s is special to me, because it takes me back to, I remember where I was at the time, what I was doing. I was 17 years old. I was not staying at home. I was, all over everywhere. But I do
outside
remember that music, because
outside
out of everybody I was coming up with, I would go buy the record.
Yeah. Yep. Same here. Same here.
You know what I'm saying? So while everybody just jam what they like to jam, I actually go buy it if I like it. You know what I'm saying? Or if I want to hear it.
Right.
I'm going to, you know what I'm saying? So
hell yeah.
Crazy, man.
Hell yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, true music here right here, man. Shout out Cornbread, man. I appreciate you, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. You're welcome here anytime. Anytime.
Hell yeah.
Anytime.
I appreciate
it. Hey, real quick, man, before you go anywhere, just off the top of your head, just came up to. Are there any soundtracks you could think of that you'd like to see us to cover in the future?
Oh, good question.
Ooh. If y'all haven't covered the best soundtrack to come out in the 90s as of yet, I would put in a vote for Above the Rim. I would just stand behind Above the Rim 110% and say, yes, this is when you say soundtracks of the 90s, which one is the best, which one stands out?
Yeah, I feel
that gotta be the one, because out of everything, there was no better merge of R&B and hip hop than that one. Because let's go through the names. You know what I'm saying? Like H-Town, Dog Pound, Tupac, Warren G, Jewel, Aaron Hall,
Naughty by Nature,
I'll Be Sure,
yep.
SWV. Oh man, they had it all. They had it all. They essentially had it all in that moment. That's one.
And no skips.
And not being biased, because there's other great soundtracks. I would say Menace to Society.
Okay.
Menace to Society for sure, because that's another one that I bought that I feel like it probably don't get talked about enough, because it probably get overshadowed by Above the Rim.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
That's one, and then I think I want to say wasn't Love Jones all R&B?
Yep. Love Jones.
Yeah, it was.
Love Jones.
Yeah, and I just remember Dion Ferris because that was the single. But I'm pretty sure they had some other shit on there that was jamming.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I know they did. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just how it was at the time, even though I made a mistake in going and see the movie. But Waiting to Exhale was a good soundtrack as well too.
Yep. Definitely.
You got to give credit where credit is due. If it's a good soundtrack, it's a good soundtrack. Maybe it's not for me, but I understand why that soundtrack holds the weight that it does.
Yeah,
musically.
Definitely.
Yep.
Definitely. Hey, once again, appreciate you, bro.
I say end of the 90s going into the 2000s. Maybe The Wood. Because they had some good music on that soundtrack.
Yeah,
definitely.
The Wood and
definitely. Now you finna make me go
Another
digging
movie that
now.
had a good
Nah, yeah,
soundtrack.
we got some
Yeah, we got
work
some.
to do now.
Definitely. Hey, just full transparency, the Brother Rim soundtrack, we do have an episode on that one already. Feel
Mhm.
free to go back and look at our listing or whatever. We did break down Above the Rim, but those other ones you brought up, stay tuned, man. We already been talking about some of them anyway. But
Mhm.
yeah, definitely stay tuned for those.
Okay. Now, see, I'm going through my
That's all right.
personal collection.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't know if
it's
y'all
cool.
did
It's
this
cool.
one, but
Yeah.
It's cool.
yeah,
Though. It's cool.
Soul Food.
Oh.
No, not
I'm
yet.
looking at all the names on the soundtrack for this one, and I'm like, golly, this is
Yep.
the people. Look at all the people on this soundtrack. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well,
man, you can't get around it. That
okay.
one.
Well, everybody stay tuned. We got as you can hear, he dropping some soundtracks. You're definitely gonna see us do here in the future. Definitely when we do these soundtrack music these reviews. Trust me.
Yeah, man.
Why do y'all? I want to ask y'all. Why do y'all just pick the soundtracks?
Just let's go. I mean, at one time, I'm sorry, Key.
Nah, you good.
But at one time, it was just an ongoing conversation we would have about how R&B was so prevalent. Like R&B really did sell movies, and a lot of people want to overlook that. Like a lot of these soundtracks, even though it's hip hop on this bad boy, were basically R&B based, and they really sold a lot of these movies. So us being an R&B podcast, just us bringing more light to the history of R&B, how influential it was at one time, and actually how influential we see it becoming once again. If you're paying attention to the landscape of everything or whatever, just like hip hop is prevalent or whatever, like it's so melodic, it blurs the lines between hip hop and R&B, so to speak. But if you're a real hip hop head, you know a lot of hip hop is rooted in R&B any doggone way. So it's just one hand washing the other. So it's just us enlightening our viewership on some of these soundtracks that have some have been forgotten, and to the rest of the world, man, these are doggone staples in our life.
Right.
Like especially if you're real heavy in R&B, and always have been or whatever. So it's just us bringing light to that.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yep.
Yes, indeed.
But once again, Cornbread, we appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you calling
in.
Definitely a very insightful call in, man. Doggone, hey, like I said, man, you got a home over here, man. So feel free to call in, tap in with us whenever you feel like it, bro.
Yes, indeed.
And one of these days,
I appreciate it.
And one of these days, we got to have you on. Never got to have you on.
Yeah.
Pick your brain on some music, man.
Come on.
Yeah. Just let me know when, and we can make it happen.
Yes, indeed.
For sure. All right. Hey, that was my brother Cornbread from Cornbread TV, OMR down in Beaumont, Texas, man. Hey, a real one.
Love it. You know, while he was on the phone, I forgot that we skipped a song. And how dare I do that?
Oh, because it's one of your. That's blasphemous. I hope somebody don't see this.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, forgive me, big bro. Forgive me, big bro, right now. I'm gonna say it right now. Give me, big bro, if you see it.
Yeah,
but track number 4 we forgot.
Yeah.
Titled "I Gotta Know" by
got?
Playa featuring Foxy Brown.
There she go, Fox Boogie. Get Foxy was all
Foxy,
over this soundtrack.
all over it.
Def Jam was really pushing her.
And you know what was crazy is that this was on their debut album too. This song was, but it was a little funny how, you know, back then you had to buy certain albums, and depending on the version you bought, it may not be a certain song on there, a bonus track, and blah blah blah.
Fact.
That was the deal with this song. I remember it was the last song on the album, "Cheers to You," by Playa.
Yep.
See, that's why we gotta get them on here so they can speak about it. I'll let them speak about.
I know
that song, how they felt about it, and all like that.
Yep. Because technically, this was early Playa. This is before the world known. This was like their that kind of intro, that
Yeah.
official major
Yep.
major release. Yeah, this was like
Yep.
early.
Yep.
Or would it be safe to say their first official song on the major? That might be
It
close to the
might
truth.
be.
If we wrong, correct us.
Well, I think they was on the Blue Streak album too, but I can't remember which one came first.
Yeah.
But I know
We'll figure that out
too. Yeah,
we'll figure that out.
and
Charge it to our heads and
then
not
it was
our
on the
hearts.
Nutty Professor, and
Yeah, I
but
understand.
Yeah, dope song.
Yeah. Solid for the project.
Yeah, definitely a
it's
Def Jam move.
Definitely, but it's mild compared to what they would become.
Oh, yeah.
This is light compared to what they.
Yeah.
The player, I know.
He said, "Break it down, Bishop."
Okay. Yeah, man. Yeah, player.
Yeah, that was yeah. That's good. I forgot this song was on here. I definitely did.
A lot of people do. It's not one of the songs that was really pushed or really like stand out at the time.
No.
Compared to a lot of the other stuff that was pushed on the soundtrack. So could easily go unnoticed.
Yep. Where do we leave off? Okay. So track number 8.
Yeah.
How to be a player.
Yeah, man. Yeah. How to be a player.
The Caller Cornbread, he was talking about this song.
Yes, he
How
was.
to be a player. Master P, Silk the Shocker, and Fiend. Hey, Master P was getting busy on this song, man.
No, during this time,
he was getting busy on this song.
And the reason why Cornbread brought it up, like coming from where we come from, P was everything at this time. Like P couldn't he couldn't miss in the South at this time, or anything that was on No Limit. Period. Like if it could be just one song on the soundtrack, just like this one, people would go by just because P was on it. Or one of the artists from No Limit was on it. That's how much of a chokehold P had on the South in general. At this time. So for him to end up on the soundtrack was not far-fetched at all. It's ironically the title track off the album, off the soundtrack. If you really look at it like that. But it's definitely a good representation of how to be a player from New Orleans. Everything they're talking about. The song wasn't really featured in the movie per se, but still a banger nonetheless, though. Like, this is definitely one of those ones.
Yeah, it wasn't, huh?
No,
that's crazy.
Like quite a few songs on the soundtrack, but doesn't mean it didn't play into the theme of it all.
All right. Is that it? Is it just them 11 songs? Okay.
Well,
track number 9.
Yep. It's a cold day.
The Funk With You mix. Too Short and George Clinton. That song was funky, man.
Yep. That's all it's gonna be, man. When you got the funk god George Clinton on it, it's gonna be funky for sure.
Look, the West Coast sound, man. George Clinton had a whole lot to do with West Coast hip hop sound. You know what I mean?
And it's because a lot of West Coast hip hop is rooted in the funk. Like even though it didn't originate in the West, like it grabbed, like the West gravitated to it, and held on to it, and never let go of it. So a lot of like classic West Coast, it's all rooted in funk, all of it, P funk to be exact. Yeah, man.
Here we go. See, always gotta be somebody.
I told you. Just because you said something, somebody couldn't help it. Couldn't help it.
He just want to stress me out. That's all that's about.
but it's still a notable.
But
it's still a notable collaboration with Too Short and the funk god George Clinton. The song was produced by Shorty B and Vaughn Wilson. Not the most memorable song.
Was this song in the movie? I don't remember this song being in the movie.
I don't either, but don't quote me on that. I could be wrong.
I would need to think
of a couple of scenes. I could think of a couple scenes where it could have gotten played though.
Yeah.
But I'm not 100%.
I feel like they would have played it like that last party, like right before he got busted.
Yeah,
Man,
somewhere up in there.
I feel like it might have been played there.
Yep. Or
Um,
did he get busted?
right.
Right. Yep. Too Short and George Clinton. One of many times they've collaborated. So this is
Right.
nothing new.
Track number 10, interlude from the How to Be a Player soundtrack.
Yeah. Now
Mac.
we all know. Now we
The
all
Mac.
Now we all know what that interlude is. It's a continuation of basically what the intro was, but it's more. But the poetry was more so based on Tupac. That's more so the subject matter, and Tupac from a scenario of him speaking from heaven. So, yeah, definitely worth listening to if you're not privy to Max Julian's work.
Yeah,
still worth listening to. She's always giving game.
Yeah, man. Street to Street. Track number 11.
Oh hell! Now we get
yeah. We about to be all the way biased now. We about to be all the way biased now.
Here we go. Okay.
The good old J.O. Felony.
This is a San Diego contribution to How to Be a Player from SD.
SD, SD. They go in the building.
Yep. That's really.
I remember this song. I do remember the song. This was early JL too, but this is his this is when he made the move to Def Jam.
Yeah,
this is when Def Jam was trying to grab hold of JL. This is before the debut. What you gonna do and all that.
Yeah, yes, it was.
This was cool. The song was cool.
It was.
It's not what we know him for.
No.
And when I say we talking about
there you go.
we didn't know him for that, like this type of style, but it was cool. I feel like maybe this is more so of like what Def Jam pushed on him to do for the soundtrack.
Yeah.
But JOMC, man.
No doubt. Without question.
Yeah.
Right. Like you're not a real hip hop head if you don't know who J.O. Felony is. Period.
Right.
Period.
Right.
And hip hop is universal. Ain't no one place, one coast, none of that. It's universal.
Mm-hmm. And remember, like a lot of people are like, oh, JL really got his name from messing around with Sway and Tech and all them.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So that'll tell you right there.
Exactly.
What he owned. So
definitely.
Sway and Tech and them is West Coast too, by the way, because a lot of people think they New York heads and
West Coast.
Too, Shout
Original Sway and Tech.
Shout out JL Felony, man.
Hell yeah. There goes Finest.
Come on.
Yep.
Come on. Now, am I missing songs? Or is Spotify missing songs?
Spotify is definitely missing songs.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Let me try to.
So it's best to Google the track listing.
Yeah.
And it'll give you all the songs.
Yeah. All right.
I'll just give you the list itself.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
All right. Let's see.
Damn licensing, these record labels, let that music go, man.
They just was
as old as these soundtracks are, y'all can't still be. Come on, man. Just let them go.
And it's like y'all can't get the licensing right. Like I don't understand.
Me neither. Like, free the music. Free the music.
Because I know Spotify and all like that. All these, is ran by record companies now anyway.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Stop holding it hostage. There we go. Now, like, do you see what we might have missed?
Mm-hmm.
Black Ass Chill.
Yeah, it definitely.
Don't ever.
What?
No.
I was lost. I'm like, I do not remember this song at all or the artist.
Album filler. I'm just gonna keep it a book. It was a filler.
I did not remember. Like when I was listening to it, I'm like, I had to go back. I had to, when you listen to something and you listening to it like on Spotify or something, you have to like recheck your phone to see if it's still on that what you was listening to.
Yeah.
That's what this song was for me.
Yeah, well, I'll keep it a book. Having still remembered hearing the song, yeah, it was something you would easily skip over.
Yeah.
Just to be honest, like that's no slight to you, Black Ass Chill. If you still out there, bro, like it just wasn't it. It just
Yeah.
I didn't get it even being on the soundtrack, to be honest with you. But that's neither here nor there. You did more than I did. You made it on there, so salute to you.
Never Seen Before by EPMD.
Yeah,
that song go. That song go.
Yes,
That
it
song
does.
go.
Yes, it does.
And and by this time they was already like vets in the game.
Of course. So to have them on the soundtrack at this point really was an honor.
Yeah.
It really was. Yeah, I mean Parrish Smith, Eric Sermon. Come on, man.
Come on.
Like that's Run DMC status.
Huh. See?
Come on. You know what I'm saying? So that's the weight they held or whatever. And a dope song nonetheless. So
right.
Yep.
And here go another one I didn't really catch on to. Was Is It by Kaboom?
Yes.
But you know what? When I heard it, I remember the song, but I don't remember like digestingly hearing it. I think it was in the movie, but I don't remember hearing it like listening to the soundtrack.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Same here. Same here.
Huh. Let's see.
Oh. Wait, don't you know? Yep. Sugar Free.
Come on.
Yeah.
You stay ready.
Yeah. The remix though.
That's DJ Quick production, huh?
You already know. Come on, man.
Crazy.
You know, for Sugar Free, Quick ain't never too far behind.
That formula though that they had.
Yeah. Oh, always. Now, full transparency. This song, I don't remember it really being in the movie at all. Wasn't memorable in the movie, but it for sure fits the movie. With production from the immortal DJ Quick, this song slaps still. It's a Sugar Free classic, and this song is also his first single off his debut album, Street Gospel. Yeah. Sugar Free, a pillar in West Coast. A pillar.
And that album, Street Gospel.
West Coast classic.
Yep.
West Coast classic.
Yep.
Yeah. To know that album is to know Sugar Free for real.
Man, because it was a lot of musicianship on that album. For him to be rapping about his style of content.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of like production on there.
Something else I think Quick doesn't get enough credit for, like being one of those that was early with musicianship in hip hop.
Right. Early. Not the bass guitar to play his bass line on his tracks. You know what I mean?
Pulling out those authentic drums, those real horns, those real violent, like really getting back to those old funk band days of it, like really going to the raw essence of everything that was West Coast.
Yeah, that was the thing about Quick was he was like a live musician, like in his production. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Shout out DJ Quick, man.
Yeah.
And for being an R&B head on top of that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Let's see.
How could we forget?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a good drink, by the way. Absolute.
Psh. Now, Absolute was singing. They was singing.
Yeah. All right, let me get. Hold on. Okay, I got to do them justice.
But you can tell during that time, you can tell that's when it was about singers by the way they were
Yes.
singing on that song.
Hell yeah, man. All right, Absolute. In my opinion, this was the best song on the soundtrack. In my opinion, it was definitely one of my favorite groups at the time. They were actually under the Noontime umbrella, which was founded by Christopher Hicks and the immortal Brian Michael Cox. This song was a standout slow jam off the soundtrack, and I remember actually getting calls from females to sing that song all the time. Like that's how dope this song was. But Absolute, man, definitely one of those duos that man, gone too soon. Definitely left an impression on me in my ear for sure, man. I wish we would have got that Absolute album though. Wow,
Right.
wow. Yep.
Crazy, man.
Never will let you go. Never will let you go. Oh God. Yeah, they were going, yeah, they were singing for their life on that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Troublesome, Tupac Shakur.
Troublesome.
How did he end up on this soundtrack? Is that a fair question to ask?
Oh,
Was he a Def Jam artist?
Tupac was everywhere.
Golly.
Still at this time. So you got to think. You got to remember, Tupac just died at this point. Around this time. This is around the time he
It's
died.
97.
Yeah, it's 97.
Okay.
So you got to remember, man, like the second that news hit, he was everywhere. And he wasn't everywhere just for a moment. He was everywhere for months.
Right.
Even
Right.
years after that. Like
Right.
Tupac's passing was felt like nothing else in the whole music industry.
Mm.
And the fact that even some of his earlier stuff was still being featured like on soundtracks like this one.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's just a testimony to that. It really was. I mean, when you think about the song itself and what it represents, it didn't even have no business being on this soundtrack. But because it was Tupac. Yeah, man.
Crazy.
Huh?
And they must have bought the rights.
Had to.
You know
or
what I
wouldn't
mean?
be on there. Or wouldn't be on there still. Yeah, I wonder what people were licensing. Would they ever having to pay to license his music at that time?
Huh.
Wow, man. Shout out to Tupac. We still talking about you to this day, man. Never be forgotten.
Come on.
Yep. And I think that's all of them. Is there anything we missed? Go back. Let me see the rest of Let me see the first part.
Let's see.
You just scroll to the right. Left. Back it up. Can I get you this? Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Okay. Here we go.
Oh, here we go. Some more over here.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's talk. Yeah, cool.
In the wind.
MJ. Yeah, 8Ball and MJG.
Oh, they were spitting on here.
Definitely.
When now I remember the song, but I didn't remember they was going like this.
Yeah, man.
I revisited it, a few days ago, and it's like, yeah, they was going in.
Yes, they was. And what an appropriate time to put them on the soundtrack. How to Be a Player? Come on. If you know Ball and G's music, that's what they stand on. Player shit.
Why don't I remember them being on Def Jam though?
Well, Ball and G wasn't on Def Jam. This you gotta remember, man. A lot of artists, regardless of whether you were on the label or not, or whatever, still did soundtracks, or still got hired to do soundtrack,
right?
Or whatever. For example, you had who stands out in my mind right now? But yeah, that's pretty prevalent. Like it didn't matter whether you were on a label, signed to a label or not, or whether the soundtrack was like an independent project within itself.
Mm-hmm.
And whoever fit the pieces of that puzzle, or whatever the creative vision was for that soundtrack or whatever, that's who you would try to get. No matter how that went. But it was a lot more camaraderie back then, a lot more collabing back then, or whatever, which was way less politics back then. So I mean, it was a whole lot. So you saw a lot more of that, to be honest with you. Like everybody really did work with everybody in the 90s. Whether it was out front for people to see or behind the scenes in some way, shape, form, or capacity. And a lot of that's still prevalent now or whatever, but it was more celebrated back then, I would say.
Right.
Nowadays it's more of a secret unless it's for something specific. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah.
It's crazy.
Very much. Shout out Ball and G though, man.
Yeah, man.
Two Southern pioneers, man. A classic Southern hip hop.
And that back and forth they had, man.
Hell yeah, man. And what better rap duo from the South to be on this soundtrack for real, man?
Come on. Come on.
Yep.
Say what? Now, how do you pronounce that? Diamond?
Yep. Exactly how you pronounce it. Kind of weird. Diamond.
Diamond. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Weird spelling, right?
Mm-hmm.
But no, I ain't gonna hold you. This is actually one of my favorite tracks off the soundtrack too, man. It's a dope song.
It's a dope. It is. I was gonna say.
It's a dope song, man.
It's cold.
Yep. Produced by the immortal Easy Mo B. And it was also written by Kelly Price and Craig Mack.
Wait a minute. Say that again?
Yes. It was also written by Kelly Price and Craig Mack. Which makes sense given the Craig Mack sample.
Okay.
That you're in the background. But if you go back and listen, you can hear Kelly Price in some of the background. Not all of them, but some of them.
Yeah, because she ended up being with Def Jam too.
Yes. And if you know Kelly Price's story and you know her history or whatever, she started out doing a lot of background work, doing a lot of writing for Def Jam. And a lot of artists that were touching that or coming through that camp or whatever. So yeah, Kelly Price, a lot like Faith Evans, early on was like heavy in the game, writing and doing
writing and doing it, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But still but a dope vibe song nonetheless.
Right.
Yeah.
Crazy. Let's see. What's this? Adidas.
Yes.
Havoc, Manterra, and Made Men.
Made Men. Made Man was doggone Benzino's one of Benzino's.
Right, I was about to say.
Just like that's like he had Almighty RSO.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Made Man was one of those entities later on that Benzino was a part of. Benzino in a lot of ways was like Birdman before Birdman.
Right.
And a lot of people don't want to give that up or say that or put it in context like that. But yeah, a lot of Birdman is Benzino's blueprint.
Right.
Be honest with you. But about the song itself, to be honest with you, I got nothing for you. I can't even tell you.
Right.
Just to be honest, folks, I'm not gonna pull no punches. A lot of y'all.
Yeah.
Nothing for you on that song.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
But
Made Men has some better stuff.
Definitely.
Has some better stuff than that.
Yep, definitely. I will say Made Men, as far as like the groups that Benzino was a part of or whatever, Made Men was like a more polished, definitely had better production than some of the earlier entities.
And Made Men, quote me if I'm, maybe I don't know if I'm right or not, but I thought Made Men, didn't they mess with Queen Latifah and her clique, her Flavor Unit clique? For some reason, I remember like a Rap City and like some of the members from Made Men was rapping in the booth with the Flavor Unit.
I think you might be right on that one.
Because I think even the Mad Rapper or whatever was part of them. I don't know.
That's something to go back and research for sure.
Check us and all of
check
that.
us on that, y'all. If we wrong, like correct us for real. Like charge to our heads, not our heart.
Yeah.
But yeah, we
Yeah,
going
because
down
that
memory
was
lane for real.
because you remember she had that moment where she was um see, it make me want to look for it.
Feel free. Yeah, man, some classic groups, classic entities all throughout the soundtrack, man. Like even if they aren't more so relevant now, like these are still noteworthy artists that were a part of that were basically a part of history
Right.
and will forever be acknowledged as such.
Mm,
For real, for
that's
real.
it.
Yeah. And not to take away from the movie, a lot of youngsters growing up or whatever, it's their first intro to being a player. Like first
Mm-hmm.
their first intro in a lot of places to even know what game was or to even know where to start. And this movie didn't give up everything. It didn't give up all the game, but it definitely gave some pointers for some people that were some lames and didn't know how to approach a female for real.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So a lot of people regard this movie as such, like a manual in a sense, but it was more so like a comedic spin on how real players play. To be honest with
Yeah. I think Made Men came into play with Queen Latifah like later on,
you, yeah,
but it's not showing them as members of the
with the
flavor
flavor unit
unit,
and that, yeah.
at least
But
on
I'm sure they
Google.
probably fucked with each other though, because that flavor unit wasn't like standoffish or whatever. They would mess with a lot of people in the industry.
Yeah.
From production side, rap features, all that. Like Flavor Unit wasn't one of those cliques that were like, "Oh, fuck y'all over there, and we
Yeah.
over here." Like they never move like that.
Nah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, and then later on it turned into like movie production and all like that.
Mhm.
So it went from a you know musical group to you know
Yeah,
movie production. Because she
hell
went
yeah.
into producing film and
Hmm.
things like that.
Yep. And doing videos on top of that. A lot of people don't know. Like she early on directing videos,
Hmm.
doing music videos. Like, yeah, that's
She
not
did a
too many.
lot of behind the scene work. It's crazy.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did. Ain't too many parts of this industry Queen Latifah ain't touched at this point.
Crazy.
All up and through it. A true mogul. Shout out
Love it.
Latifah. Shout out Latifah.
Yeah, man.
And has a jazz album, by the way, singing her face off. Shout out Latifah.
Right. Some people still be surprised at that. Queen Latifah they got a jazz album. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, Latifah can sing. No?
Yeah. She always was doing some singing. Always.
Yep.
She always found a way.
Yep.
But yeah. This concludes the Def Jam's How to Be a Player soundtrack, man. Well, no, it's one song we didn't mention. I think we still got one more. If I can get back to that. Okay.
Oh,
When the players
live.
live.
Yeah. Shout
Crucial
out
Conflict.
Shout out Crucial Conflict, man.
Yeah, man.
Hey, and this is one of those songs that definitely went with the soundtrack. Definitely. Oh, now this song I could definitely remember. Definitely was in the soundtrack for sure. I mean, definitely in the movie. Definitely got played in the movie.
Yeah, it did.
Same scene, I believe, the party scene towards the end. I believe, yeah,
Mhm.
definitely got played in the movie. This is definitely a song mostly about how players live in the shop for real. They definitely contributed to the soundtrack.
I thought Crucial Conflict was gonna be like Superstars, man.
We all did.
Because you seen what happened with Bone. So
Yep.
it was like Crucial Conflict. We like, okay.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
they had some big songs.
Yep. And even though a lot of people would say their sounds was similar, they never sounded the same at all.
No.
They didn't sound anything alike
No.
at all. Yeah,
Yeah.
Crucial Conflict was, yeah. They came
They
out
almost
swinging.
like that group that didn't do what they were supposed to do. You know what I mean? Like at least personally, I feel.
Oh yeah. Kind of like Absolute.
Yeah. Yep. And it's crazy because you're messing around being on soundtracks like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Big soundtracks. It's just it's interesting to see what happened to some of the artists after the fact.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
And this is also the era where a lot of artists' first break was on soundtracks. So soundtracks are still a way to usher in like new artists still during this time. This is like the phasing out of that, but still, it was still a thing that people were doing in the industry.
Right.
Hence the reason why you see a lot of people that you don't remember on here at all, or songs probably we're here today and gone tomorrow. You know what I mean?
I like it, man.
Yep.
I like it. But this concludes the soundtrack, man. Def Jam's How to Be a Player soundtrack. Oh.
What y'all know about it? What y'all think about it? Anything we missed, we didn't cover, let us know. Hit us up in the chat.
Yeah, man.
We do go back and read comments. So, hey, let us know what y'all think, man. And just like I asked for my brother Cornbread to call it earlier, man, let us know if there's any soundtracks that's on y'all brain y'all want us to cover. Y'all want us to break down. Feel free, man. Doggo, we listen.
Yeah, we do.
Yes, we do.
We do. We're gonna get all the way into it too.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? You got any shout outs before we get up out of this thing?
Oh, yeah, you know, I always got some shout outs.
Shout
out
to the
chat. Yeah, shout out to the chat.
Come on.
Everybody that was in there, shout out Cornbread, man, childhood friend of mine. Shout out Kurt Quinn. I see you in the chat, brother.
Winner Red.
Hey, and everybody else that's been supporting from day one and still rocking with us, man. Shout out, man. Much love and respect to y'all. Hey, it's Vibes of Convo, baby.
Let's go.
Hell yeah. Hey, and don't forget to go check out that Vibes of Convo playlist, man. I'm gonna have some new stuff for y'all for next week, I promise. But right now, y'all need to catch up on what's already on there. Because it's nothing but fire R&B, y'all. Vibes of Convo playlist on Spotify right now. Run them numbers up, man.
Come on. Yeah, man. And
how about you, Key?
You know what? Shout out to the chat, right? Shout out to Cornbread for calling in. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to those that watch us on the playback too. Shout out to those that watch us on the playback.
We appreciate y'all.
You know, we love the comments. We love the feedback. Yeah, man. Y'all got to be here. Y'all got to be here every week. That's why we got to make sure that you are subscribed to us a certain kind of way. We need you to click that notification bell. Make sure that all notifications are clicked. Right? And we got so much coming, man. It's so much coming this month. Some big stuff. Yep. You know what I mean? Next week we got the music review. So all artists from all genres tune in, because we're gonna be really, really on our we're gonna really have our review mindset on. You know what I'm saying? And we have a special guest. Yeah. It's gonna be in the artist spotlight. Yeah. You know what I mean? But y'all got to stay tuned, man. You got to stay tuned to see what's going on. So you got to subscribe to us on YouTube. You got to follow us on Twitch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And let's get to it.
Yeah.
We here.
Definitely.
And we out this thing. All right,
peace,
y'all. Next week, 5:30 p.m. Pacific time, Wednesday.